Welcome to Chicago Unfiltered. Here's another episode. Welcome back. Hope you guys having a great weekend, because I am. Just because. And this episode is called The Truth They Had, The Truth You Fear. Let me ask you a question. Do you know the laws that can lock you up? That question goes to my Illinois residents, because at this current time right now, the Illinois laws are changing. Specifically, the gun laws. I probably should have titled this show The Gun Show, but that was too cliche. Do you actually know your gun laws? Or are you walking around with blind faith and false security thinking you good? Here's the truth. In Illinois, you can be in compliance and still lose your freedom. You can follow the rules and still get punished by them. You can be legal today and a felon tomorrow without even changing your behavior. But wait, why nobody talks about this? Well, this is Chicago Unfiltered, and we gonna get right into it. Let's get into it. The new Illinois gun laws and the traps nobody tell us about. But first, let's take a trip back. Let's go back. Because people always like to talk about what's happening now, this and that. I was always told that in order to know where you're going, you have to know where you come from. And I don't know a person that made guns or built guns. I just seen it. TV shows, movies, cartoons. Remember old Yosemite Sam? But take a look at this. I'll give you a history lesson right now. You know we gotta learn something.
Did you know that the USA accounts for 46% of all...
The Chinese fire lance, a bamboo tube that used gunpowder to fire a spear, invented in the 10th century, is regarded by historians as the first gun ever made. Gunpowder was previously invented in China in the 9th century. The fire lance appeared in 10th century China during the Jinsong Wars. It is often considered to be a proto-gun, which is the predecessor of the hand cannon and the ancestor of all firearms. Fire lances were relatively short-range weapons and were used to give their user an advantage in close-quarters combat. Fire lances could only fire one shot, but being made of bamboo allowed them to be disposable. They were held in racks on city walls and made the perfect weapon against enemies trying to scale the walls. By the 13th century, fire lances hurled their projectiles with sufficient force to actually kill people.
Did you know that the USA accounts for 46% of all civilian-owned guns worldwide, with nearly 400 million guns in civilian hands?
400 million. Really listen to the numbers. Like, pay attention. Right now, this is more about learning and being informed than anything. If you know somebody that carries and they licensed to carry, if you know somebody that ain't licensed to carry, they should all tune into this. Share this with them and let them know. Each one teach one.
That's 120 guns for every 100 people, far more than Canada, with 35 per 100, or the UK, with just 4 per 100. Yet, only about 30% of Americans actually own guns, meaning some households stockpile dozens. gun sales surged during the COVID pandemic, with 20 million guns sold in 2020 alone, and states like Texas, Florida, and California.
Texas, Florida, and California during the pandemic. Now, if you're from any city, you know Texas, Florida, and California are those states where, well, I ain't even got to say it, it's predominantly racist. Yet, these are the states that sold the most guns during the pandemic. My question to you is, who were they buying them for?
Saw the biggest spikes. Ownership also varies widely across the map. Over 60% of families in Wyoming and Montana own guns, compared to under 15% in New Jersey and Hawaii. Gun violence costs the USA over $550 billion annually in healthcare, law enforcement, and lost productivity. More than 40,000 lives are lost each year to gun-related deaths, exceeding the total number of Americans killed during the Korean War.
Did you know the man who invented the AK-47 spent his final years asking if he had created evil? His name was Mikhail Kalashnikov, a poor Russian tank mechanic during World War II. After being wounded in battle, he designed a simple rifle, one that any soldier could use even with no training. The result was the AK-47, cheap, durable, unstoppable. It became the most popular gun in the world, but it didn't just arm soldiers. It armed terrorists, militias, and child soldiers. Kalashnikov was celebrated as a hero in Russia, but everywhere else his invention was a symbol of death. In his old age, he wrote a letter to the Russian church, asking, "Am I guilty for all the people killed by my weapon?" The AK-47 is still in every war zone today, and its inventor died wondering if he had doomed the world. Follow for more forgotten.
I answered that for him. Yeah, you sent a lot of people off, my dude. You definitely did.
More forgotten stories.
Can you believe it? This person is making a hydrogen-oxygen hybrid gun.
Right now, we're going through the history because you have to know where you come from in order to know where you're going. The person that made the AK-47 that everyone is trying to outlaw, they're trying to ban the automatics, and he questioned his own self. He knew how much bloodshed would come years after making that invention. And just like any invention, once you make one, it's duplicated and it's trending. It's just like podcasts. Once you see someone doing something, you may find a niche. Oh, wait, I can do that better. Or maybe the way they did that, I can pull that down and slide that over a little bit, and that's just us. We're creatures of habit. The human race, the human species, we are creatures of habit, habitual creatures. So we see something, we want to do it and fine tune it and critique it. Is it bad? It can be. Is it good? It can be. Protection and protecting those that you love, the ones that you love, is the ultimate goal for protection. Having a gun, a firearm. But then you got those that misuse it and those that abuse that privilege. So it's the yin and yang.
Hybrid gun using old batteries. First, it uses a utility knife to remove the plastic casing, then pliers to strip the metal casing, and finally extracts the central carbon rod. It repeats this process for all the batteries. Once all the carbon rods are extracted, it takes 4 identical plastic rings and inserts the carbon rods into the
Now this gun right here is a hydrogen gun.
holes on the rings. Then, it connects all the carbon rods with a copper wire. After that, it processes another set in the same way, creating 2 identical parts, and then solders them together. It places 4 insulating foam pieces in the middle to prevent interference. The bottom copper wire is soldered to the top copper wire, and a copper wire is added to the middle electrode for easy connection later. Next, it takes a transparent acrylic tube to use as a reaction chamber and tests the fit of the carbon rods inside. It seals both ends of the reaction chamber with insulating material and applies strong adhesive. It drills holes in the 4 corners and inserts 4 bolts, then places the acrylic reactor on top. It installs 2 output terminals on the sealed lid, connects the wires, and tightens the nuts.
Man, for you to sit down and make something like this, man, you got a lot of time on your hands. You either an evil genius or brilliant.
It then creates another reaction chamber without carbon rods, inserts a thin acrylic tube inside, and screws the 2 chambers together. It uses a hose to channel the gas produced inside, attaches 2 brackets to the sides, and fixes a short acrylic tube to the brackets. It connects the hose to the bottom of the acrylic tube, fills it halfway with water to act as a one-way valve to prevent backfire, and connects the top of the acrylic tube to the reaction chamber with a hose. After adding water to the carbon rod reaction chamber, it mixes half a cup of sulfuric acid with water and injects it into the reaction chamber through a hose. It connects a 12-volt power supply to the bottom, and bubbles instantly appear in the acrylic tube when connected, disappearing when disconnected. It connects the hose to the upper reaction chamber, prepares a high-voltage module, and makes a trigger device connected to the upper reaction chamber. Finally, it places a glass ball into the acrylic tube, waiting for it to roll to the end. When it presses the switch, the reaction chamber produces a hydrogen-oxygen mix that ignites, and the glass ball instantly pierces a watermelon. It's truly incredible. Do you know how this works?
Hell yeah, we know how it worked now. You done taught us. So listen, they literally showing you. They trying to pierce your melon, my man. You out here trying to put these guns in different people's hands. Let's talk to the people that's making the guns right now. Let me have a conversation. Come closer. The people that's making the guns out there, man. We understand that you're making them for a reason. Everyone, I believe personally that everyone needs and deserves protection and the ability to protect themselves and their family, the loved ones, from evil, no matter what shape or form it becomes. I mean, because to be honest, if, say, the government was like, hey, we want everybody to be slaves again, you have to be able to arm yourself. Not to get off topic, but that's the main reason I have a problem with the LGBTQAZB. That's the reason, not because it's an issue with them personally. I don't care what you do, like your choice, whatever you want to do, that's on you. I just don't like the fact that the young men are no longer young men. When the world goes to war, who's there to step up? That's my question. And if everybody got on the skirt and tucking their tail, then that's a bad combination. I mean, I pretty much think further. I think long term, like, and what if? Because I pretty much think about, I'm that type of person that I hope for the best but prepare for the worst. I'm one of them type people. I prepare for the worst, but I hope for the best. You know what I mean? Not to get off topic, but these guns are being made not by us, but they're being used and exploited, and the people are being exploited as well. How many times have you been around somewhere and you seen and you heard somebody, man, we found a crate of guns? You think that's by chance? Listen to this, man.
Now, we all know what this is, and if you don't know what this is, stay in school. This is what they call a switchy, or a Glock conversion kit. Turn your semi-automatic into automatic and back to semi-automatic and vice versa. But we do know also the feds is giving out 5, 10, 15, 20 years elbows behind this shit. You don't want to get caught with that shit.
Mothers, fathers, you got a teenager, you got some teens, pull them in, tell them come check it out. Share this with them. Let them know the laws are changing, and they are changing for them. Remember FUBU, for us, by us? They want us. They got to fill up the prisons. They got to make sure that the prisons stay full. And how do they do that?
That shit.
Yo.
Everybody already know, if you got an automatic, 9 times out of 10, you're going on a mission. And that's what they're trying to prevent. They're trying to prevent that. So if for whatever reason you absolutely got to have an automatic, Go to your local gunsmith / some nigga in the hood who just good on guns, and then just tell his ass, file my firing pin down. That way, nobody will never know, and you'll still have your automatic without the sentence. Shh.
You've passed and signed some pretty significant firearms legislation this summer here in Illinois. How does that legislation help stop shootings at churches and schools from happening?
Well, we've banned assault weapons in the state of Illinois. We've banned bump stocks. We've banned switches that turn a regular gun into essentially an automatic weapon. These are all things that reduce the number of shootings. And by the way, guess what? Shootings are down significantly in the city of Chicago and across the state of Illinois. And again, I very much believe that people who have a right to own a gun should be able to go get one. But that you've got to have universal background checks. You've got to make sure that you're not selling guns that give someone the ability to commit a mass attack in a school or anywhere else. But people have a right to protect themselves.
I got a gun on me right now while we talking. Since I was 15, I ain't never left the house without a gun. Ever. I don't care where I'm going. Like, I went to my grandma's funeral with a gun in church. I ain't never left out the house without a gun since I was a teenager. I'm afraid that somebody gonna kill me. Like, I can't lie. Like, I'm just being completely honest.
Why did you seek to make a piece that would turn it into a full auto fire?
That gun was so stable.
This is the creator of the switch that so many have glorified. This is the creator. Listen to who he created it for.
In the firing, and I found that was an excellent opportunity to offer the military and the counterterrorism units and police department an option of fully auto.
That's the guy who invented the Glock.
He wanted to give the police and the military the ability to do what they said you shouldn't do with a switch. Let that sink in.
The Glock switch. He said he created it for police and military. So the police originally was supposed to have switches. He didn't expect the YNs to get them. That's why he upset. He said mafia in the full video, but he meant the YNs. So imagine police pulling up with the switches. You feel me? He did not expect the YNs to get them. But in my mind, I'm like, okay, military already got automatic weapons. So why would they need to throw a switch on there? He said to make them easily adaptable, right? Police don't even got automatic weapons though. So it seemed like he was just saying some, like, I don't know. He needed a better PR person. He should have had me talk about it or something, like pay me a couple $100,000 just to be like, you know, what Franklin was saying was he did not intend for the wrong hands to get their hands on the switches, right? You can also make these in 3D printers. People have been 3D printing them, right? They got the blueprint. Like, bro, they be smart out here, bro. It's probably some Russian YN somewhere 3D printing switches and sending them over. Like, that's crazy. But he's...
There's this guy, right? He not only had a firearm, but he was legal. And not only did they book him, they made his life a living hell. Illinois keep passing gun laws faster than people can read the summaries. And let's be honest, black folks are the ones paying the highest price for not knowing. Yes, we're talking about ghost guns, switches, the new restrictions, FOIA card changes, transport laws, magazine limits, Safety Act confusion, the new ATF rules that turn regular people into felons overnight, literally turning regular people into felons overnight. Man, check this out.
Something that's never been done. Something that's never been done before. Watermelon cheesecake.
A cheesecake tasting in the south suburbs. Louis McWilliams' dream is to grow his business.
It's gonna blow you away.
I like it.
All was good.
Oh my God, it's so good. I told you. This is like a Jolly Rancher.
Until this.
Right now, Mr. McWilliams.
I'm an entrepreneur. I have a company, a cheesecake company called Ann's Flavored Cheesecakes.
At the time of this interview, Louis faced a felony charge.
This has been very traumatic for me. I feel like my rights was violated.
His Second Amendment rights. Louis is an avid gun owner.
Just got me the AR top, one in the middle.
In April, Louis was pulled over on the south side, West 79th Street. He had a missing front plate.
Hey, how you doing, boss? Good.
The first thing he did, tell the officers he had a gun.
Okay, where's your firearm? On my side. Okay, you got your concealed carry license?
According to state law, in order to carry a legal gun in your car, you need a firearms license, better known as a FOID card, and a concealed and carry license, commonly called a CCL. This is Louis's card, and it's valid. That's what he handed the officers.
He looks at him. He said, okay, cool, this is perfect.
Only it wasn't.
Concealed carry, it didn't pop up. Oh.
It didn't pop up on Leeds, the database operated by the Illinois State Police. Police recommended Louis be charged with 2 felonies.
Right now, Mr. McWilliams, because you can't verify your concealed carry.
And look here, prosecutors approved the charges.
He never should have been charged.
Irv Miller is a former prosecutor, once in charge of reviewing police cases.
He showed them a valid CCL card. Not only did they see it, they actually took possession of it and inventoried it.
I haven't got the
It's
They took possession and inventoried it. This is what I'm talking about. The officers that did that, we see them all the time. They're nothing new. They be thirsty, overly aggressive, behind that badge.
It's right there in CPD's inventory sheet. So why?
Shout out to the ones that really do their job. We can't forget y'all. Shout out to y'all. But the rest of y'all, man, watch out.
So why was Louis arrested? That's a question we wanted to ask Superintendent Larry Snelling, but he declined an interview. So we reached out to state police because anytime an officer pulls over a driver who has a gun, the first thing they do is check the state's database to see if that driver has a valid FOID and CCL.
Oh, okay.
So here's the question we asked the state. If a driver like Louis actually hands the police a valid CCL, but the officers don't see the information in the state's database, what should they do? The state replied, the officers should not take any law enforcement action as it relates to a potential FOID CCL violation. That's what Louis expected, and what he was told later as he stood in a jail cell.
And if this comes back clean, yeah, then they just let you go, apologize, and let you go about your day.
That's not what happened. Louis spent 24 traumatic hours behind bars.
It was just deplorable. There were roaches falling from the ceiling.
All of this because of illegal everything. Yeah, I can't tell you why. I need somebody to tell me, man.
Worse than the jail conditions? A missed business opportunity.
That day, I had a meeting. Could not do the meeting that day because I was arrested.
Lawsuit. Y'all cause me inconvenience. There has to be laws against this. That's why we have to come together. That's what togetherness is about. Situations like this. When who police is the police. We know that a lot of them get away with murder, literally. In situations like this, we need representation.
By losing that, I might have lost the franchise.
Louis also lost time, lots of it. He was in and out of court fighting to get the charges dismissed and his impounded car returned.
I know this is a system, so just hoping for the best results.
It wasn't until mid-June, 3 months after he was stopped that the case was finally dismissed.
I'm very excited for him, but this is not the end.
Next step, more money spent to expunge the case, so his arrest won't show up in a background check.
And all of this for somebody who did nothing wrong?
Correct.
Your joy is a little bit...
Dampered, yes. Totally dampered, because now this is a much longer process.
Man, he's a good sport about it, man, because I've seen a lot of people crash out, especially when they know they right. Certain people you can't play with. Certain people will crash out. And the sad part about it is, I've seen a lot of people in this exact same situation lose way more because of that very reason. And they were in the right, but couldn't take being wrong by the system, law, the people that's supposed to serve and protect.
Process.
It's nearly impossible to know how many drivers like Lewis are wrongly charged with unlawful gun possession that are later dismissed. Neither the CPD or the Cook County State's Attorney's Office track it.
Because we got to confirm whether it's actually valid or not.
We did find a handful of lawsuits accusing police of violating the rights of legal gun owners.
And I'm sitting in here in the back of a squad car because my license expired, but I renewed it.
One of those, an irate Lucy Washington.
And it's not my fault that you guys didn't get it in your system.
I'm an entrepreneur, a loving mother. I do everything from real estate.
Can't wait to get my guys in here to look at the floors.
To rehabbing.
Traffic stop.
Here's Lucy's story.
I had something wrong with my back.
In December of 2023, she was stopped for failing to put on her turn signal. Without hesitation, she volunteers.
I am concealed and carry.
As a single woman, Lucy carries a...
Now, you clearly heard them say all of these shootings and this and that going on. They literally pulled this woman over. That's a license to carry driver for a turning signal. This the type of shit that pisses me clean off. Like,
she carries a gun for protection.
I have it.
My love, your CCL expired.
I know, but if you pull it up, it'll show that I already tried to renew it.
Lucy tries to explain that the email showing proof she renewed is on her phone.
My phone is fell.
Only she can't find it. This is the email from the state Lucy was trying to show the police. It says if you apply for renewal, you're eligible to possess a license.
Oh my God, are you serious? Can I please look for my phone? Please, give me like 5 more minutes to look for my phone.
And it sounds like the officers weren't going to accept the email under any circumstances.
It's not in our system, Lucy. It's not in our system.
I freaked out, especially when I was told that I was going to be charged with a felony. I'm like, I can lose my broker license.
Like Lewis, Lucy's felony charge was eventually dismissed. She also got the case expunged, but she's still living with the trauma.
Now, if they got humans doing this, right? Human beings making wrong decisions based off what's in the system. We now see the rise and emergence of AI, and we know what's soon to come. I should say what is stopping the AI from handling this a little more aggressively or the wrong way? Now, that question may go over a lot of people's head, but if you know, you know. We're living in a time right now of technology, and it's moving fast. And if you don't catch on now, you will get lost in the sauce.
The trauma.
If you search a property that is in my name, my mugshot shows up next to it, it's embarrassing. You know, how do I explain to someone like, oh no, I was innocent?
If they did nothing wrong, again, Why were Lewis and Lucy arrested? We posed that question to Phil Smith.
And I'm honored to testify today.
Smith is a president and founder of the National African American Gun Association. Membership, more than 50,000.
Outrage, anger, frustration. Not again. Those are the conversations and statements that are going in my head when I hear about another black person being stopped illegally, being arrested illegally when they've had all their stuff together.
While there's no data that tracks race in these types of gun arrests, Smith points to America's disturbing history.
Yeah, I bet it ain't no data that track race, man.
History of black people with guns being unjustly killed by police.
If you look at other communities, they have firearms all over the place, and it's okay. They go to Macy's, they go to Walmart, they go shoot and hunt, and it's okay.
Go shoot and hunt in all other communities.
Hey.
This is so ridiculous, bro.
I felt defeated, you know? I felt defeated. And I felt like nobody had my back.
I just feel like the rights that I've been given, the constitutional rights to have it, that the police officers didn't stand up for.
These cops, man, are killing me, bro.
Since the arrest, Lewis has been struggling to rebuild his cheesecake business. He blames police for the setback and plans to sue the department.
This shows that no matter how much you follow a system of which they create, they can still deem you wrong.
At this point, both Lewis and Lucy are still waiting to get their legally purchased guns back from CPD. Both the state's attorney's office and the state police declined to be interviewed.
I bet they did decline, because they know they foul. When they flaw like that, it's flaw. They not gonna admit it. They ain't gonna accept accountability. They gonna brush it off. It's another day, another dollar to them. Another collar to them. It's crazy.
Passed and signed some pretty significant
fucking
firearms
crazy.
legislation this summer here in Illinois. How
Crazy, man.
I got a gun on me right now while we talking. Since I was 15, I ain't never left the house without a gun. Ever.
Why did you seek
Crazy.
to make a piece that would turn it into a full auto fire?
That gun.
These people do not care, man.
From 17 to 22
Literally.
now face federal and state charges after Irving police say they were illegally distributing machine gun conversion devices known as Glock switches. Glock switches can allow firearms to mimic fully automated weapons. For example, an Irving police officer demonstrates the danger of these illegal but easily obtainable switches.
Our investigators found a distribution site on social media.
Dozens of switches advertised for sale.
He found a distribution site on social media. How dumb can you get? Like, people are literally out here losing a rabbit ass mind. How can you be that slow to literally advertise on social media what every fucking body at? You know, FBI's Facebook, Instagram. Man.
Sale by 17-year-olds, according to police. Firearms were also pictured. Plus, these are screenshots from an October music video uploaded online showing who police say is 17-year-old Caden Martinez holding multiple weapons. Investigators say the group purchased the switches from China and had them shipped to North Texas.
I mean, it's almost as easy as ordering a package from Amazon.
Irving police, posing as buyers, caught the suspects making the transactions. More switches, weapons, drugs, and money were found while executing search warrants. An 18-year-old out of Haltom City pleaded guilty in federal court a few months ago. He was seen on social media randomly opening fire out of a moving vehicle using a switch-equipped handgun.
Crazy. When I say crazy, crazy. You can't make this type of stupidity up, to be honest. Like, what in the fucking world? Like, how? Why? What will possess a person I mean, you heard it for yourself. Like, these kids is out here losing it. Literally losing it. And they don't have, the parents really don't have no say so. You got people out here that'll say, oh, where's this and that. It's not on the parents. The parents can be around and the kids is still doing whatever they want to do. You got a corrupt system and corrupt society. The kids are just gonna fit in where they fit in. Everything else is, I mean, you got cops out here selling guns. Ain't no telling what else they doing, you know what I mean? The law is crooked. The people that's supposed to serve and protect, not serving and protecting. We just had a government shutdown, literally, taking food from the citizens' mouth. I had a person tell me the other day, right? People that didn't vote, what did they say? People that didn't vote Democrat shouldn't feel away because their candidate didn't win. Basically saying, like, your candidate didn't win, so you shouldn't feel bad about a government shutdown. I'm gonna just let that sit right there where it is. But it's crazy out here, y'all. It's crazy. It's too much going on out here. Way too much.
8 people ranging in...
It's referred to as a Glock switch, which can turn a handgun with a 15-round magazine into much, much more.
A dime-sized device that turns a handgun into a weapon capable of firing 1,200 rounds per minute. That's faster than the weapons of war that I used in the Army. ATF agents call it spray and pray.
Here in Baltimore, officers seized 100 such modified Glocks off of the streets in the last 2 years, including one fired at police near Patterson Park 20 months ago.
A total of 33 shell casings were found from the suspect's weapon. In my 27 years, I've never seen so many rounds recovered and heard so many rounds fired on our devices, like ShotSpotter.
Pistols produced by the Austrian-owned Glock are the only ones which can be transformed with such a switch, and it is now a target for legal action from the city and the Maryland Attorney General to stop the sale of its handguns.
The city is seeking an injunction as well as an abatement, restitution, and a disgorgement of profits to halt the spread of easily modifiable handguns until Glock alters their design.
Last year, the city received a $1.2 million settlement from Polymer 80, the nation's leading manufacturer of ghost gun kits. The hope is that Glock will be banned from selling its handguns in Maryland until it makes it impossible for criminals to turn them into something exponentially more dangerous than they were intended. In Baltimore, Jeff Hager, WMAR 2 News.
Before we keep going, let me salute our sponsor, Burberry. When I step out clean. Classic trench, iconic scarf, subtle flex. Burberry been timeless since before a lot of trends existed. If legacy had a fabric, it'd be Burberry. Stay clean, stay solid. So, I raise a question. How can citizens follow the law when the law changes more often than the weather does? And the people enforcing it barely understand it themselves. People have been arrested for transporting a legal gun incorrectly, owning parts they didn't know were banned, carrying with a FOIA card, but wrong address, having a magazine that holds too much, having a gun that was legal before the law changed, all while switches illegal everywhere but floating around the streets like candy. Literally.
I have all the guns in the world. I have guns everywhere. But I don't have one Glock switch. I have a bunch of Glocks, but I have no Glock switches. Want to know why? Because I follow the law. Do I want a Glock switch? Yes. Do I want a full auto Glock? Yes. I want a bunch of full auto, but I can't have them because they're essentially banned. So I'm just gonna go out on a limb and say, I'm probably not the person that people are worried about having full auto guns, but yet I don't have any. Yet you literally have 14, 13, 15-year-olds who are running around the streets with full auto Glocks. And here I am, carrying a semi-auto. This is a clear example of why gun control laws disadvantage the good people and give the advantage to the bad people. So now I gotta go about my life, minding my own business, but now I gotta worry about some stupid running up on me with a full auto Glock. There's nothing I can do about it because all I have at my disposal is my stupid semi-automatic gun. And then to make matters worse, they're even talking about limiting my magazine capacity. So from that perspective, well, how is that helping me? How's that helping anybody else? It's not, but it's helping the criminal because it's giving them whatever advantages that come with having a full auto Glock. They have it. I don't. Now, I don't have a...
For me personally, I think people are trying to push. For some reason, it seems like someone's trying to antagonize. It's like they got the good, the bad, this or that, and want to push them all together to get some type of a reaction. That's just how I feel. Watching everything that's going on, knowing that the laws are being moved and used the way they're being used against the wrong type of people. It just seemed real fishy. I don't know.
Problem with full autos, like I said, I want a bunch of full autos. I think people should be able to have full autos because there's a reason why they don't want us to have full autos, because they understand the effectiveness of a full auto gun. And if we have a Second Amendment right to own arms, to keep and bear arms, why are we being limited to specific type of arms when it says all arms?
Facts. People are out here getting caught aren't the ones who making these switches. Let's talk about it. Let's talk about it. The people who getting caught ain't the ones making them. Why are black men being locked up for possession while the people 3D printing, shipping, selling, and mass producing switches aren't filling the jails the same way? Why is enforcement always aimed at the user, never the supplier? And speaking of tragedy, man, RIP, well, I don't like saying RIP, fly high to Coach John Bean, shot and killed on a campus in Oakland. A man who gave decades to kids, sports, and programs and the community. Gone because someone out there can get a weapon illegally faster than a law-abiding citizen can get a background check. Tell me again, are gun laws protecting us or just criminalizing us?
New gun laws in Illinois. New gun laws in Illinois. Dave McDermott here, McDermott Law Group. Not your typical attorneys, guys. Senate Bill 1899. What is it? What's going on with it? First off, let's step back a minute. If in fact you are being arrested and being criminally charged with possessing a firearm when you do not have a FOID or CCL, you've never been issued one, it's not like it's been removed, it's not like...
Again, this is a conversation that need to be had. You need to know the laws. These kids are out here crashing out at record numbers. We have to slow down this process. If not, the future looks real dim. We have to get hold of them. Men, it's time to step up. Ladies, help the men step it. I mean, because without you saying something, you know, the boys listen to their mothers. Some do, some don't, but the ones that don't, you gotta let the father step in. If not, the role models, the uncles, the ones they look up to, pull them to the side. Hey, look, I need you to talk to my son, tell him XYZ, he ain't listening to me. You know what I'm saying? We have to get control of this because they want us to crash out.
It's been revoked, it's not like it's been suspended, but you never even had one to begin with, and you otherwise would be entitled to one. You can be charged with a Class 4 felony or a number of other different types of charges depending on the circumstances. Now, if in fact you're being charged with a Class 4 felony because you have a firearm and you don't have the credentials necessary to have a firearm in the state of Illinois, you can be offered first-time weapon offender probation. What this is in Illinois is this is a program where you're put on probation between 6 and 24 months. You can't violate any other laws of the state of Illinois. There's a number of other things that you have to comply with. But if in fact you comply with these terms of your probation, at the conclusion of your probation, you can have this case dismissed against you. This already exists. Again, it's called first-time weapon offender probation. Now, Senate Bill 1899 has proposed that instead of having to wait until after the case has been dismissed to apply for a FOID card, which would permit you to own and possess a firearm to begin with legally in the state of Illinois, instead of having to wait until you finish with your probation before being able to ask for a FOID card from the Illinois State Police, you can in fact apply for a FOID card while you are on this type of probation. This is
100% right.
This has never existed before, which then would allow you the right to be able to possess, to be able to own a firearm and possess a firearm after you're approved. This has been passed by the Illinois House of Representatives 97-11 and is now going back for this before the Senate for approval there as well. What do you think about this?
Talk, young boy. He right. He right. Yeah, 100% right. For those that don't know, y'all can go back to that, replay that, get in tune, pick up. I gotta learn more about these gun laws and the laws that's being changed right up under your chin. You gotta figure this thing out, man.
The same exact pistol, but which has been 3D printed. So this frame has been 3D printed.
Yeah, it feels plastic.
Smooth, and you can see the lines of the 3D printer. So again, no serial numbers, no way to identify it. If you come to a shooting scene, first thing that ATF does is we want to know the history of the gun, trace the firearm, and there's no identifying marks on that whatsoever. We do have an example here of a 3D printed revolver.
That looks like a staple gun, but that's an actual
It
weapon.
is an actual, yeah.
How long does it take to make
Yo, that looked like a straight... If I seen a kid point that at me, I wouldn't flinch. That looked like a straight toy.
How long does it take to make something like that?
Some of the toys look realer than that.
It depends on the printer and the capabilities of the person operating the equipment, but some of the
Yesterday, I began my second term as governor of the great state of Illinois, and today we made history, becoming the 9th state to institute an assault weapons ban and one of the strongest assault weapons bans in the nation. A little over 6 months ago, a peaceful 4th of July for families all across the state was shattered in the wake of the massacre in Highland Park. 7 families lost loved ones. A 2-year-old child was left parentless. 36 people were injured.
Man, in Highland Park? Not in Highland Park.
People were injured. All because our state and our nation has been held hostage by the NRA and their allies time and time again. After nearly every mass shooting, we've seen efforts to ban dangerous weapons thwarted, and then leaders send their thoughts and prayers while they throw their hands up, resigning themselves to the idea that gun violence is a sacrifice that Americans must accept. But it doesn't have to be that way. For the past few years, members of the General Assembly and I have battled the powerful forces of the pro-gun lobby to pass effective gun safety legislation. We've had occasional victories, but on assault weapons and high-capacity magazines, victory has been elusive. That's why today I couldn't be prouder to say that we got it done.
Go because everybody could get their hands on a gun. Kids can get their hands on a gun. Money speaks, money talks.
All right, so how much can you buy a gun right now for in Chicago? How much? $100?
$100.
Flat the feds, bro. I don't care what nobody says. Allegedly, Vlad is the feds. The questions this man be asking, bro. Wow.
$100.
Like a 9mm?
$100. A 9.
Bro, the way now that I look back on how he be asking the question, the stuff he be saying.
If a crackhead want to fix, and he break into a house and find a gun, you could buy that gun for $20, depending on how desperate he is.
Really?
Yeah.
Nah, he a bean. He keeping it a buck. He dead right. He's 100% right. Depending on how thirsty that man is, he's 100% right. You get that thing for the low. Me for nada. It's crazy, man. But let's switch it up. Enough of the gun talk. If y'all want to know more about it, any parents want to teach their kids more about the gun, pick up that book, grab that phone that's in front of them, that tablet, and sit down and have this conversation. Because we see 11, 10, 12, 13, we see the teenagers early are picking up. You don't want to be the parent that's picking up late, trying to talk to your child about something that they didn't already got their hands dirty with. You know what I mean? And hold them accountable. It's kids out there that don't know right from wrong. Some do know right from wrong, but the influence is so great on these kids right now that they're choosing wrong even though they know what's right. So we have to be that influence. We have to work overtime. There is no days off, period. Pas de jour de congé. That means no days off in French. That's my motto. No days off. We can't take days off when it comes to our children. They're losing. On a grand scale of things, it looks crazy. It looks crazy. So that's why I feel like now is the best time for us to get hold of them, grab them, get involved, get more in depth. What's going on? Be nosy. I mean, we have our nose in everybody else's business. Speaking of having our nose in everybody else's business, let's stir the pot a little bit. People were mad as hell at Kevin Gates for having a younger girlfriend, but clap and giggle when Mariah Carey was dating Nick Cannon. The same females out here talking Kevin Gates, this, Drika, this, that. They don't know what that man and that lady had going on. From what I remember, he said she was the reason why he left. And he wanted to be, he was too much of a man, and he didn't want to make her look bad in the public eye, and this is that. And that's what's wrong. A lot of men take shots to the chin and be like, oh, I'm a man, ooh, and I'll take anything. That's what he literally said. He literally said, I can take it all, ooh, this, ooh, that. I ain't gonna have the media messing with her. I love her too much. But she ain't. Will she do the same for him? When she gets enough people around her and she feel it's cool enough, I guaranteed you, mark my words, she gonna be throwing that man clean under the bus. Clean. It's only a matter of time. It's only a matter of time. He talking about some, I'm not gonna make her look like this or make her look like that. Yeah, okay. All right. At 21, Nick Cannon married Mariah Carey, a 21-year-old kid trying to find his way. Why is it empowering when women do it, but predatory when men do it? If women, hold on, let me ask you a question, right? They say women mature faster than men. Right or wrong? They say women mature faster than men. So a 14-year-old boy and a 14-year-old girl, the girl is mature than the male. That's what they say. If that's true, like the world love to say, then mathematically speaking, doesn't that mean that mentally she's older in a relationship? Or do we only use the maturity argument when it's convenient? Because let's be real, rich white men been dating younger girls for decades. Elvis Presley married Priscilla at 22 after grooming her since she was 14 years old. Nobody dragged him. Clive Davis, Whitney Houston, the whole industry been doing this. But when it's a black man, oh, now it's a conversation, huh? Now everybody a psychologist. Now all of a sudden age matters. And well, I mean, don't get me wrong, don't get it twisted. Hold on, let me that sounded crazy to even sound coming out of my mouth. Age does matter. It does matter. Don't get it twisted. It does matter. But she's a grown woman. He's a grown man. Why are people so, oh my God? Is it because it's Kevin Gates? But I don't think people really care about Kevin Gates like that to be doing all of that. And check this out.
Ouch! Ooh, that nigga spoke truth. Ouch! Yeah, I'm a real nigga though. Yeah, man, a real nigga, yeah. I've been doing this shit 20 years, man. Nigga don't want no old, that nigga want a young hoe. Straight up. My little young bitch, my little fun bitch, she with the dumb shit. Hit her with that dumb dick. I bet I make her come quick. Yes, Lord. And I'm in her chest. My bad, please.
Oh no.
Man, come on, man. You can't be amen in that shit, man. You talking about yes. No. Back up off me, man. Oh.
I think a lot of people problem with Kevin Gates is his delivery. I don't think people literally have a problem with him. I think they have a problem with his delivery. That's just my personal take on it. Because, like I say, people have been doing it for years. Mariah Carey was the same way with Nick Cannon. After she was in a whole full-blown relationship with a person that she says was like holding her captive. What's the guy named Tommy Mottola? The dude, I forgot first time I heard about him when Michael Jackson was saying the dude was like some type of evil person and shit. But I know for a fact the girl that's with him right now is full grown. She's in her own. It don't seem like she's being held captive. Like they having fun at me.
Me, man. Hold up.
Side piece. Like, I just don't want people like asking or like saying disrespectful things about my relationship or like just saying weird comments like just people be trolling and stuff, disrespectful, like 304 side piece, like something that's just very rude. Not like if they say anything about my relationship, but if it's purely like disrespectful is what I mean. They can ask questions, but I'm saying if they say something that's like not okay, you know what I mean? Because a lot of people be trolling and whatever. I've been told I look like her. It was my first time in Louisiana ever. It was really, I like the people there. They were very genuine and loving.
Man, they need to leave this girl alone. People just be trolling just to be trolling, miserable with their own life. Why is they messing with this girl?
Loving and very welcoming. I just could not handle the heat. Like, I was on the verge of passing out. And I'm pretty sure I was experiencing heat exhaustion because I was throwing up.
They might be hating on her because she a cute little young lady. She seemed like she got her stuff together, well-spoken, laid back. She don't seem like she's like overly doing the most to try to get in front of the camera. She seemed like she's just chill, laid back, to be honest. But let's dive a little deeper into this topic here. Cause I remember the conversation that Mariah had on one of the interviews, and she was like, she was explaining to the interviewer like she was a young girl. She wrote, I think wrote a book or something, some type of book, and she was saying when she was young and she felt these type of ways. My thing is this: women and men experience the same type of thing, but it's looked at a different type of way, like a double standard. And we all know there's double standards out here. Don't get me wrong. We all know there's multiple double standards when it comes to the gender roles. But that's not the thing. I don't get into the gender thing, like who, what, and who can do what better than who, and who should be able to get away with murder. That's not my thing. My thing is when a person is crying out for help, or a person is in a situation that's bad for them, and a person be like, oh, it wasn't that bad. You could have stayed a little longer. They got money, girl. Go ahead. We all know people out there that's in bogus, toxic relationships, but stay because the money. Or stay because the court on public opinion was like, oh, you shouldn't do that. Just stay a little long. You could. That's a good person, but behind closed door, the person is miserable. I think Mariah Carey and Nick Cannon went through the same type of a thing. Literally, he was saying one thing, and she said the exact same thing about Tommy Mottola. I say that to say this: hurt people hurt people, and men tend to bottle it in and make it look like, oh, with this macho bravado, like, oh yeah, and they tend to take it all in. I'm man enough to take it all in. Yeah, she cheated, but men seldomly talk about women cheating on them. Have you noticed that? Women cheat all the time, men cheat all the time, but you seldomly hear men on TikTok and on these shows, yeah, she did this, she did that, and I'm this, and I'm that. You seldomly hear it. Why? Listen to this. Check this out real quick.
I was 19 years old and had already lived a lifetime of chaos. Then this powerful man suddenly came along, parting the seas to make room for my dream. In the very beginning, I did feel
19 years old, and then this powerful man came along.
Protected by him. I definitely felt that we had a bond.
Now, don't get me wrong. I think dude was bogus. I think he was like, he did whatever she said he did.
A bond in music, that I felt that he believed in me. Soon after we met, Tommy started making romantic overtures. His persistent gestures and constant attention gave me a sense of safety.
She soon realized it wasn't as safe as she had hoped.
From the moment Tommy signed me, he tried to wash the urban off of me.
Him sleeping and you getting up and leaving the bed just to go to a room privately, and then hearing through the intercom, where are you, what are you doing?
Just made everything just back into like this stiff moment of being at attention. There was pressure from him to get married, but I thought he would lighten his grip on me. I thought he would relax. I didn't feel like he got the fact that I was also a human being with my own feelings and thoughts.
What made you ignore all of those feelings?
Fear. A lot of it had to do with fear.
Pushed to the edge, she tried to break free with her friend Debrat.
The phone didn't stop ringing the entire time. At first, we thought it was funny, and we literally were going to go for 5 minutes, which was a huge deal. For me to just go off the property without security, it just became a huge, huge thing. And she was in shock, and she did say, "This is not okay. You're Mariah Carey. I thought you could do whatever you want. Like, you can't be in this relationship."
Mariah knew she couldn't take it much longer, but she felt trapped.
You said, "I didn't believe I was worthy of both happiness and success."
I called him TD Valentine. That was his stage name back in the day when he fancied himself a musician. He loved music, that much is true, and he found a way to have a lifelong affair with it. As I've said, our mutual love of music, ambition, and power was completely intertwined with our personal relationship. Music was the relationship, but try as we might, that couldn't make it a marriage. I sincerely believed in my heart I would be with Tommy forever, but my sanity and soul would not surrender to my heart, and the marriage swiftly began to harm me on an emotional and spiritual level. There was a popular mythology that I was some sophisticated gold digger who bagged a big-time hitmaker who was now bankrolling my princess lifestyle, that I was just sitting pretty on a throne in my $30 million mansion. The wedding certainly gave that illusion, and that's all it was, an illusion. If there was any perception of a fairy tale marriage or life, it was absolutely smoke and mirrors.
Now, do any of that sound familiar? No? Check this out.
Got married in
The
my
male
20s still, you know what I mean, to the biggest star in the world. My trajectory was here, and then hers, she's already in a different stratosphere. I would lay up.
I was 20-some years old, and this big time. Hold on, let's play it again. Wait a minute. Listen.
Got married in my 20s still, you know what I mean, to the biggest star in the world.
Now listen to hers.
I was 19 years old and had already lived a lifetime of chaos. Then this powerful man suddenly came along, parting the seas.
Parting the seas.
Got married in my 20s still, you know what I mean, to the biggest star in the world. My trajectory was here, and then hers, she's already in a different stratosphere. I would lay up at night thinking like, is this who I am? Am I Mariah's man? Is that what?
The reason why I point that out is this. Now, I'm not bashing her or none of that. I think what she went through that was bogus. He was wow. He was flawed for that, right? I'm pointing that out to point out the fact that in the midst of this, when a male is dating a person that is of a higher stature, they made it seem like, oh, he wasn't man enough for her. Nick Cannon wasn't man enough to step up. He had Mariah Carey and he fumbled the ball. But when it's a woman, it was, oh, he was taking advantage of her and this and that. But like I said, if women mature faster than men, I know plenty of women that, like younger women or at my age, that was like, I don't want nobody my age. I want me an older man, because these young dudes ain't on my level. They ain't on my page. I need me an older man that can handle me. But when they get in these situations with these older men and find out that it ain't all lollipop land, it ain't candy land, and you gotta abide by rules, and it's rules and regulations that come with that bag, then it turns into, oh, he's controlling. He don't want me to go outside, and
my life is supposed to be.
Men go through this. I say that to say this. Men are going through the same thing. Nick Cannon went through it with her. Listen.
Supposed to be. There's nothing wrong with it, but I'm like, this ain't the hustler.
And how does it hide? It hides in plain view. You have to read between the lines when it comes to men in relationships, because men don't want to seem like the victim. They seldomly want to play the victim because it's not cool. It ain't cool to be the person that got cheated on. Oh, Mariah cheated on. It ain't cool to play the victim when you're in a relationship, especially with the older one. So he has to hide a lot of things. Oh yeah, it was, man, I ain't want to carry a bag, man. I ain't want to do this and that. No, you were being controlled. You were being controlled. Because hurt people hurt people.
And then when you have children, your man shit is like, wait, I'm carrying a purse, the diaper bag, you know, I'm standing on the corner, I'm like, wait, you know, like, she rocking being all the alpha that she
by the way, she deserves it, by the way.
Being all the alpha that she being.
I believe she did.
He said his manhood, while she was being alpha female, he didn't feel like he was a man. That don't sound like, that sounds similar. It sounds like exactly what she was saying. She couldn't be herself and couldn't be this. She just worded it different.
He's a dude like that. Yeah. I'm just not that dude.
See what I'm saying? There go the bravado. I'm just not that dude. But if there was a woman, he got me. It's the woman play the victim role. Not all, some. Let me correct that. Not all women, some. In these situations. And it seems like a ongoing thing. Like repetition.
Her and I never had problems. Yeah. Never argued, never even with me struggling in this space. Yeah. She's so understanding and so evolved and lives in her own world. That's the thing, when someone has their own world and you got to be a participant in that. You know what I mean? Like I'm main character. It was like
she already know how to be that and play that part because she was in that relationship.
It was like muscle atrophy. I'm not being the dude that God put me on this earth to be. The love kept me there. Even, made it work so well because I was like, oh, you need somebody. You need a support system. You need somebody that don't want you for your money. You need somebody that's sincere. You need somebody that's willing to build a family and raise some, amazing kids together. And that was my goal. But then there was just something constantly in me like, I got it.
The man.
Yeah.
So let me get this straight.
And it's just wild because, you said your trauma response was to go out there and be with as many women as possible. But if in that moment you would have just said, maybe even to Mariah or whoever, you hurt my feelings.
Right.
Like, my feelings are hurt. That's so hard for men to say.
It is. And to me, it's like
I said, it was hard for him to say, you hurt my feelings. He said they didn't even argue this, that, But at the end of the day, this is how he really felt. He was hurt. That man was hurt in that marriage, in that relationship, while the world was saying, oh, Nick and Mariah. The man got her name tattooed on his back.
I hurt my feelings. And that's what I couldn't understand because.
There we go. I'm a man. I got to take all of it. It's accountability. I got to man up. It wasn't her. I did this. It was my fault.
The decision, I was so insecure and really letting the outside noise get to me in that sense of like where people were calling me like a boy toy and that I was it. And then I felt like I watched my own existence kind of get put.
The same thing she said about Tommy Mottola. She couldn't be herself. He's saying the exact same thing, but he's wording it different. The feelings are still the same and they are still valid. Manipulation is a mother.
Get put in the shadow. Wow. And so I didn't know how to deal with that. So then there was this, the ego in me was acting out where opposed to like, and I was trying, you know what I mean? I was like.
The man literally say he was trying, and I believe him. I believe that he literally was trying. I think he put his best foot forward. I think Nick Cannon really put his best foot forward. And while we here, stop twisting Nick Cannon's story, man. That man went through that with that woman. I don't think they got no beef or nothing, but I think hurt people hurt people. Nick Cannon didn't leave Mariah because he was jealous of her fame, man. He said he didn't want to become a man holding her purse, figuratively. The same way Tommy Mottola tried to control her, literally. He wanted to grow, just like she wanted to grow from Tommy Mottola. And you can't grow in the shadow of someone who's still healing from their shadow. That man left with respect, not resentment. I think he went out like a player, to be honest. But that goes back to what I was saying initially. There's a double standard there when it comes to Kevin Gates in this situation with his girl. Salute to them, shout out to them, and wherever they go, may they have fun and God bless them. This topic here is about how billionaires really stay rich. Let's talk money, but the truth, not the Instagram version. Here's the real play. The wealthy don't buy things. They buy structures that pay for their things. When you buy a car, you drain your money. When a billionaire buys a car, a corporation buys it, writes it off, leases it back, and pays less taxes owning it than you pay trying to fill the gas tank. Check this out.
Elon Musk is interesting. He chose to get paid not in salary. It's because you are taxed, not on your income. That's not what the tax code says. You are taxed based on your taxable income. And so what Elon Musk did is when he was building Tesla, he negotiated with the investors and the board. I want to get paid not with a salary. I want to get paid with stock options. And he was awarded these Tesla stock options at about $6 a share. He was given millions and millions and millions of these stock options. And so now when the Tesla stock goes up to $100 a share, now he is rich on paper. He doesn't have any money in his bank. But if he sold that stock, he would have $94 of income. Now you have a tax because you have taxable income. So instead what he does is he goes to the bank and he says, hey bank, I have these millions and millions of stock options. Would you like to loan me $10 million? No bank is going to say no. Now he has $10 million in his bank account, but it's not an income. It's debt. Debt is not taxed. So now he gets this $10 million of loans that he can spend to buy a house, to buy a car, to buy food, to buy vacation, to buy whatever you want. To buy Twitter. And pay no money in taxes. And it's 100% legal.
100% legal. When you buy a house, you get a mortgage. When a billionaire buys a house, the same house, a trust buys that house and protects it and depreciates it and uses losses to offset income from somewhere else. Ask yourself this: are billionaires magical? Or are you just never taught how the game works? Because the game ain't designed for you to win. On another note, let's go on to another topic. My grandfather used to always tell me, he used to talk about racism a lot. Not a lot, but he used to tell me man, don't be trusting these people. Woo woo, they ain't got your best interests at heart. Da da da. Racism is passed. What'd he say? Racism is passed on from the grandparents and taught by the teachers. The teachers keep it going. I'm like, dang, I'm like, man, I need a trip. But then it hit me when I seen this. Check this out.
The Africans just can't run things. Now, that's a very, very fundamental point in the international scene. I love them. They're so kind and so nice. And they're children.
Yeah.
Children.
Yeah.
Huh? You know?
And they always want something like children.
Oh, God, yes, they want. What can you do? I know, but what I meant is it's so childlike. The childlike.
Now, this is a recording of a president at the time having a conversation about black people. Just listen to how just listen to the whole nature of the
childlike faith and this and that. And of course, a lot of them are crooks, but we have crooks too. There are many other areas, as you've well pointed out, where they can beat the hell out of us. Now, and they should be proud of those. Athletics isn't a bad achievement. Man, you look at the World Series, for God's sakes, and what would either of these teams do?
Like he said, they should be proud of those. Athletics. So when LeBron was talking about and saying things, and the lady told him, go dribble a basketball, go shoot a hoop, or something she said, this is the sentiment, and this is where it comes from. Now, in this segment, a teacher resigned after telling a black student, you would still be my slaves. Let that marinate. A Winterville charter teacher looked at black students' children and told them, you'd still be my slaves. And we supposed to believe racism not that bad? No more? The same country that claims to be post-racial still has teachers we pay telling black children their ancestors' trauma will still be their reality today. Man, check this out.
We are investigating the resignation of a Winterville teacher after what the school calls a racially insensitive lesson and caught the attention of a lot of our viewers. Justin Lundy has been following this story and is live outside of Winterville Charter Academy with the latest. Justin.
Yes, I spoke with parents whose children tell them that a teacher here at Winterville Charter Academy used racial slurs inside an 8th grade classroom. And today, those parents are demanding immediate action and answers.
She had them raise their hand during a Constitution lesson and reminded them that if it wasn't for the Constitution, they would still be her slaves, her field slaves.
Kanisha Tillman and McKay Benjamin say their children were in an 8th grade classroom at Winterville Charter Academy. And late last month, that was the lesson on Constitution Day. Tillman says both the teacher and some white classmates then used the N-word.
And then call him a and then the teacher responded by saying when the black student tried to address it and asked her to address it, she said that, well, it's okay because we're all a little bit racist.
School leaders initially sent out a memo to parents of that classroom on September 24th. It said they investigated the incident and the teacher involved resigned. After outrage began to spread on social media that the teacher wasn't fired, Principal Anastasia Ryan sent out the following memo on October 5th to the whole school, reading in part, as soon as we were made aware of each incident, we immediately took action. The result was a teacher resignation and the children involved being disciplined in accordance with our parent and student handbook. These situations concern us too. Our school culture is built on one of acceptance, love, and respect to serve all children and their families. Benjamin planned to remove her child from the school, but changed her mind this week. And why aren't you taking your kids out of the school?
Instead of us just removing our kids and letting them get away with it and not actually holding them accountable for what's going on, we should stay at the school and fight and get them to address the situation.
Winterville Charter Academy has not revealed the name of the teacher involved, but parents are demanding new policies to prevent situations like this from occurring again.
I would like for them to have training on cultural fluency, on implicit bias, on racism, and I would like the students to have training. Like, it doesn't make sense why we got a school-wide email about TikTok challenges in the soap dispensers, but we didn't get a school-wide email discouraging more racist remarks coming to the school.
A memo from the school stated that the teacher who resigned will actually receive culturally sensitive training. I'm not really sure how that's going to be worked out because I already reached out to the school and haven't said anything about that, but future and current teachers will also go through that training as well. In Pitt County, Justin Lundy, WITN News.
A training course. Children go through blatant racism and experience it from their own teacher, and they offer a training course? Here's the real question. Do you understand how many black kids sit in classroom with adults who don't even see them as equal human beings? People say it's just a comment. Nah. Words from authority shape the entire path of a child's life. Children become what they believe they can be. A comment like that is designed to shrink the imagination of those children on purpose. That teacher didn't resign out of guilt. That teacher resigned because she got her ass caught. And this remind me of something, historically speaking, like when slavery was over and they built the jails to incarcerate free people. It seems like it's like it's being rigged. Like somebody won't, because if you have that, every action there's a reaction. What about the kids that wanted to react? Rightfully so. What would happen when you disrespect someone and they take the law into their own hands? Is that the end goal? Are people being antagonized to get locked back up? Check this out.
This right here tripped me out. There are owners of private prisons that are suing the states that they are contracted to put people in prison in right now in this country. Let me say that again now. There are owners of private prisons that have been contracted by the states to put their prison in that state and put people in prison, that are suing those states because they promised them a certain amount of occupancy, and since they've changed some of their laws to be more lenient on locking people up, which has reduced the population in the prison, and now they're suing them for that makeup because they promised them more people than they got. This is how much of a business putting people in jail is. That because they operating at 50% and y'all promised me 75, 80%, I can sue y'all now because y'all ain't locking up enough people. Yeah, because y'all reduced and changed some of y'all laws, so y'all not locking people up for simple shit no more, like y'all was. Now, our jails ain't as full, we not making as much money. So either y'all gonna have to pay me the money that y'all, the difference, or y'all gotta lock some more people up. And the states can't afford to pay them out the pocket trade, so now they in court going back and forth right now over this. Like, yo, this is crazy. This is how much of a commodity and how much of a business it is to lock people up in America.
Question. Who are the jails built for, and who are the people that predominantly occupy them?
Because, you know, back in the day, when they was getting 100 a day, it's probably more than that now, 200 a day or whatever for each prisoner. But yeah, you promised me when I set this prison up, I was gonna be at 80%, 75, 80% occupancy. Now I've been operating at 50%, I'm losing money. Now y'all got to do something. Something got to change. Y'all got to lock some of these cats up, or y'all gonna have to pay me. So like, that's crazy. Like,
that is crazy. That's crazy. They literally suing the jail because they not staying full. I mean, the jail is literally suing the state because they not being full. Man, that's crazy.
How is putting people in the jail just become a business? I thought jail was supposed to be a deterrent for people not to do crime.
Exactly.
So if everybody just stopped doing crime, then what's supposed to happen then? That's gonna be a problem, huh?
I said the exact same thing. If everybody stopped, like literally, how they like stop the crime, stop the violence, stop the crime, stop the violence. I hate when I see those interviews with music artists or people that come from the city and they be like, do you think it'll ever end? And this and that. They be like, no, I don't think it'll ever end. Slow, dumb up. Yes, it'll definitely end. But when it ends, that's when they gonna pull a rug from under your feet. See, the thing of it is, you have to perpetuate all of the bullshit. The BS, you gotta keep it going to feed the monster. The prison, the pipeline, you gotta keep feeding it. If you keep on feeding it, you keep the trends going with people out here smoking your brother, raping and killing your sister, then of course it's working. The system really working how it's supposed to work. People like, oh, it's broken. No, it's working how it's supposed to work. A blender. That's why people like, oh yeah, you get thrown in a blender. Don't get in the system because you're going to get thrown in a blender. Yeah, that's very true. What he's saying is 100% true. But what happens when there's no more criminals? Everybody's law-abiding. Even the ones who got felonies and this or that, or third strikes and this or that, they not doing nothing, getting caught for nothing or doing anything. What will happen then? You know what I think will happen? I think we'll get more pandemics. I think we'll get more fake terrorism. Like, man.
Really? Crazy. This is insane. Insane, yeah. Like, when I read that, I couldn't believe it. Like, how you suing people because they ain't bringing up people to your jail?
Shit, I know it and still can't believe.
Yeah, it's a large number. Yeah. The jail's supposed to stay 80% full. Yeah. Keep them in here. Lock them up. Yeah. That's how you can make their money. That's the revenue, baby. The number's at the top. I got to reach this number. So I need this amount of capacity to reach that number. 50 won't do it. I got too many empty cells in here, baby. I need beds that got to be filled, baby. I got beds that need to be filled, baby. Come on, now. Hey, like the whole, it's just exactly like a hotel. What are you talking about? The same model.
It's sad. It's really sad. I'm here to raise awareness. If you sleep, on wake on up, man. Cause ain't no days off over here, Chicago Unfiltered. You have to pay attention. Cause if you snooze, you're gonna definitely lose. For sure. These people ain't playing no games, and we should treat it as such. Everybody that stepped up and had a voice, where they at? Malcolm X, smoke. Martin Luther King, smoke in front of the world, for the world to see. I just wish they had protection, to be honest. And ever since then, it seemed like everybody been taking shots at the kings, especially if you are one and you stepping up and you speaking truth to power.
Malcolm X to me was the most important. Malcolm X to me was the most important spokesman we have ever had in this country for black people, bar none. And everything he said, I agreed with. Everything he said, I agreed with. And I was absolutely, I'm still not over the fact that he's gone. And I really would like to say that I think it's black people's fault that he's dead. Just as it's black people's fault that Martin Luther King is dead. They didn't give him any protection. They ran him away. They followed him, but they didn't protect him. They're willing to die, but they're not willing to kill. Hey, man, I get upset when I think about it. I get upset, and that's one of the reasons I don't live in this country. There's no protection.
No protection, none whatsoever. That's crazy. And she's 100% right. There's no protection for the ones that speak truth to power. People are out here losing their lives. The ones who stood for something back then, now it's people that's stepping up, but they're majority bought off, funded by some corporation that won't let them speak the reality of what your situation is. So for my people that's out there, that's the movers and the shaker, this is my message to y'all.
Stay focused. Don't talk about what you're gonna do. Don't just dream about what you're gonna do. Don't criticize somebody else for what they're not doing. You be it. Be about it. Be about that action and go do it. Keep your eye on your intention. Don't let any outside distraction or your own insecurity stop you from your goals. Embrace that struggle. Surviving that struggle will strengthen you. Look how far you've come and how much you contributed. keep pushing. Forget the fear, forget the doubt. Keep investing and keep betting on yourself.
What are you gonna do with the truth now? You know the gun laws now. If you don't, look up. You know the double standards in dating. You know how the rich stay rich. You know how teachers still carry the mindset of the masters. So I'll leave you with this final Chicago Unfiltered question. Now that you know the truth, will you change how you move? Or will you pretend you ain't hear nothing I said? Because ignorance can get you hurt, but awareness can save your life. I'm your host, Molly Bolloré. This has been another episode of Chicago Unfiltered, where we don't whisper the truth, we amplify that thing. Until next time, stay safe, stay aware, and always stay dangerous. And I'm out this mother.
My leather's so soft, my top so soft, I probably have it all. These niggas so soft, and I go so hard. Bitch, I go so